Come on, we know you're out there. Somebody needs to show up. It's that time. It's that time of day. Where are you? Here we go. We got one. Hey, come on. Let's have another one in here. Come on. Somebody's got to show up. There's two. Okay. Two's company. And three would be even better. There we go. We're up to four. Well, good morning. And welcome to the Art of Fire Contemporary Glassblowing Studio for another Facebook Live presentation. I'm Bruce Ferguson. I'll be doing the filming and narration today. And you're probably wondering, why is Bruce standing out in the parking lot in the cold? Well, it's because this is a beautiful sight. If you were with us last week, I didn't show you the parking lot, but when I pulled in, it was a shock because there were no other cars and Josh and Todd were missing in action. But we got through the day. So I just wanted to show you we've got a full complement of what we need here to get going. So let's enter the studio now and we'll tell you a little bit about what's going on. Well, welcome Joyce, the light of my life. Catherine Thomas, good morning and welcome to you. David Hogan, howdy doody. It's howdy doody time. Yes, it is. Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's say good morning to Theta on the way in. Hello, Theta. Okay, and we got Josh and Todd over there hard at work already. Yeah, all right. Hey, hey. So let's go ahead and take a look at things, all right? So we got our regular programming here. What we're going to show you today, we're going to have a diamond optic ornament in a cranberry color. We're going to have a gingerbread ornament, a snowman, an icicle, which can double as an angel wing, and a tree. So that will be really, really cool to see. So we're going to show you some of the pieces that we have here. Let's see, a diamond optic. Here's a diamond optic right here. We don't have one in cranberry. Yes, that is cranberry. My bad. Okay, so we got cranberry, diamond optic. We're going to be doing the gingerbread ornament, which is up right over here, which are really cute. You got to get in on those. All right, and a snowman. There's several snow people there, some with the black hats, some with the Santa hats. And here is the icicle. And then the trees, we got quite an assortment of trees. We can make whatever you want for that. So anyway, that's what we're going for. And last week, our winner was Catherine Thomas, who won the icicle. So congratulations, Catherine. And good morning, Bridget. Nice to see you. And well, to see your name anyway. So that's last week's winner is Catherine. And next week's winner is going to get a gingerbread ornament. So that's what we got for you for next week. If you comment, your name gets entered in the drawing to have a chance at winning it. And that's what's coming up there. So we've got several things to talk about today. So we're going to wait just a minute to get into the first piece. One thing that we're particularly proud of, and I'm going to swing over here, you can see our excellent graphics. Many of you participated with us a couple of weeks ago when we were raising money for No Kid Hungry, and you ordered the drinking glasses that Foster, Todd, Josh, and I were making. And we donated $2,200 to No Kid Hungry. So thank you all. We really appreciate it. And it was an amazing experience for all of us. Okay? So thanks on that front. That's a really big deal. Now, last week, I showed you all that glass, and then I told you, but you're not going to get to see it because Foster and I weren't making it. So this week, instead of showing you glass that you're not going to see, I'm going to show you something else that you're not going to see. You're not going to see us playing the odd couple, or until I lose some weight, 2.5 men. All right, so we're going to get going here in just a minute with these guys. So
have a great time this morning. It's great to have you here.
Okay, all righty. So let's give a quick run down here once more. We're going with the diamond optic cranberry ornament, and Todd's going to make that for us. And before we get started, what I'd like to say is really special about this ornament. We have a special request from Martha Carter. Her children would like to say, "Merry Christmas, we love you." And to remember that beautiful things come from heat and annealing. And we couldn't agree with that more. So, Martha, from your children, here we go. And have a great holiday. So, Todd's going to get us started here with the cranberry ornament. Good morning, Joanna. Joanna Rudnick. Great. Great to have you from the UK. Although, you know, the first time Joanna showed up, she said she was from London, and I asked if it was London in the UK or London, Kentucky. But I just realized now the UK does have a Kentucky connection. The University of Kentucky. She could have told me she was from the UK and been in Kentucky the whole time. That's really reaching. Oh, come on, Todd. We're gonna lighten this up. Okay. Ron and Penn Clark from New York. Great to have you. Great to have you. Catherine Thomas shared to the 12 people just now. All right, that is marvelous. Thank you. And that's something else while Todd's warming things up here. We'd really like you to share the videos. The more you share, the more viewership we get, and the greater things go along. So it's really, really important to us that you share. Good idea for you to comment. That's how you get entered in the drawing for the next week's free piece. And while we're watching Todd heat the glass and paint dry, we'll show you the gingerbread ornament again right there. So keep the comments coming. That can be yours. Todd has the cranberry color on the end of the blowpipe. He's heated it up, mortared it into a shape, and just put in a little bit of air in it. There we go. Okay. So Martha, this one's for you, and we'll try and get as many close shots of the process in the making of your ornament as we can. Okay. Yes, David, it was a stretch, but that's all right. If my name was Armstrong, we could go somewhere with that. Oh!
I missed that one. Honestly, I missed that one. Maybe I'm better off.
I think it may set it off.
I might be better off.
Okay, so we got to let this cool. That's the reason for hanging out here for a minute, because Todd doesn't want to gather with that part cold, or else it would cause a bubble to collapse. And Catherine Thomas says, yay! And I really appreciate that you're excited about that, Catherine. We're excited you shared with so many people. Yes, Carol Ann, it was bad. It was really bad. What element makes the cranberry color again? Can we all say it at once?
Gold.
Gold! There's gold in them there cranberries. Yes, indeed. All right, Todd's got the clear glass. He's marvering it into shape. And a little air trapped in the pipe, and that cranberry color expands. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. The use of the marver right now is to change the shape of the gather of glass so it'll go into the diamond optic mold just exactly like Todd wants it to, so it will fit. So it's got quite a little taper to it, and I'm going to show you the diamond mold before he gets over here to use it. This is it, Martha. This is what puts the diamonds in your cranberry. So the formulation with the gold gave you the color, and now you're going to get the diamonds. Please remember to like, comment, and share. The comments are for you guys. Sharing really helps us. And don't forget, if you see something made that you'd like to give as a gift, you can order it online at artofire.com. You can call us up at 301-253-6642. And you can not only order the pieces, you could order gift certificates if you like. If you'd like to get something for someone, but you're not sure exactly what, Give them a gift certificate. Let them make the choice. Here we go in the diamond optic mold. And go back in and out we come, and look at the beautiful pattern there. Alrighty, so that's how we create the diamond pattern in the ornament. Todd's going to give it a quick reheat. And I'll come over here so we can see a little bit more of the inflation and the jack work. Of course, Martha doesn't want a 4.5-foot steel pipe on the piece. So we cut a jack line for some separation. You can still see those beautiful diamond shapes in there. And now to inflate it. Wonderful. Okay. And of course, when we do the inflation, that jack line or neckline increases in diameter. The use of newspaper is to chill the bottom so it doesn't blow out excessively. Todd got that to about half the volume he wanted. And so now, after a reheat, he'll bring it back to the bench and blow it out some more and cut the neckline. If you accidentally touch the marvering table right after it's been used, does it stay hot for long? Well, it's like a lot of other things, Bridget, in glass blowing. It depends, okay? For this little ornament, maybe not so much. If we're making a vase out of 3 or 4 gathers, yeah, it's going to stay hot for a while. But let's concentrate on Martha's ornament right here. So you can see that nice spherical shape. The jack line cut into it for a point of separation, and it's still going to take just another brief reheat because we don't want to go cutting it off of the pipe when it's really cold. See how brief that was? Todd's not trying to cut the glass with the shears, he's simply chilling it, and that makes a point of separation. When he taps the pipe, the vibration breaks the piece loose. There we go. Then it's off to the furnace to gather some glass. I'm not going to make you dizzy by whipping the camera around real quick. We'll just wait here and watch as Todd gets some more glass. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. That's correct, David. Okay, so here we go with a little bit of glass right over that opening.
This is from Martha. Is that right? Martha, my dear,
nips it off.
I've got a diamond optic cranberry
And with there we go, a beautiful cranberry ornament and a wonderful hook on it. And we'll get a real close up there for you, Martha. Beautiful, wonderful. So, for Martha Carter, from her children. And I really like the phrase that they added to it. They asked us to bring this up, and they said, remember, if beautiful things come from heat and annealing. Thank you, Todd. All right, way to go. All righty, let's see what else we got going on here this morning. So we got lots of stuff on display here. Let's start on over here. If you're interested in the t-shirt, we've got these. Not too many red ones in stock yet. In fact, somebody about 2 weeks ago bought one right off of Foster's back because they wanted it so bad. But we do have a few left. A lot of the tan ones. We've got the ones that say, for a hot time. We've got the designed by Violet, Todd's daughter, with the happy cats. And we've also got the one with the glass tools showing what it is we work with. Alrighty, over here we've got a selection of our ornaments. There's a wide variety. I'd suggest you just go to our website, artoffire.com. Check it out there. You'll be able to see a lot more. I'll describe a few of the things we have here though for you. 2 weeks ago, we did some twisted flat cane ornaments. Here's one in red, one in blue, one in pink. We also did what we call the filigrana, which has that nice lacy white pattern in it with either multiple colors, or we could do a single color like this red one. You just saw the diamond optic mold created. We did elves for you a couple weeks ago. I'm sure sometime between now and December 25th, we'll probably wind up doing another elf or two. Oh, and on the front of the table here, we got some, they're not all just one of a kind, but they're special ornaments. And last week, some of you actually ordered by number. In fact, what was really cool, we had a viewer from St. Louis, Missouri who watches. I'm sorry, I don't have her name. Theta will probably remind me in a minute. but she liked the pieces so much, she did a screenshot of this video. And then she took, okay, it's Christina Davis from St. Louis, Missouri. Well, Christina's more internet savvy than I am. She took a screenshot, then circled the items she liked, sent us the picture, and ordered the pieces. So there's another way to do it, in case you don't see or remember exactly what we've got right here now. So we've got number one here, a beautiful trail. That's what the stripes are in that, and that's the portion of the gold stone. The Lotes, here's another one with multiple frits, number 2. 3 is the same type of thing. This is what we're going to start calling the ubiquitous number 4. We didn't have a name for this ornament, and we put it on display 3 weeks ago, and we just kept calling it number 4. So if you'd like number 4, just say, I want a number 4 ornament, and we'll know what you're talking about. We've got the diamond optics here. Number 5 is in multiple colors, green, white, and red. We've got another ornament with a red and white mix, 6. 7 is twisted optics, twisted frit with multiple colors in that. And there's number 8 is another one of our filigrana ornaments. 9 is not quite a number 4, but very close. It's just a little bit different in coloration. Number 10 is very similar to numbers 1 and 3, where we have the trail that goes through the color there. That's what those stripes are around it. Number, that's 10. 11 is straight optic mold. You see the straight lines in it as opposed to twisted. 12 is another diamond optic. And this one we put up today just because of the color, but because we're superstitious, we're not going to label that number 13. We've also got pickles, and this is the new child in the studio. So this is a really cool ornament, okay? And this one is $45, and it's blown in a special mold that was made for us by Ramiro Camarillo. So Ramiro, thank you very much. Big shout out to Ramiro. He brought the mold in on the other day, and we made some, and they were really cool looking. So we look forward to making some more. It's 5-sided, and this particular one's got a nice fishnet pattern in it where the glass has been kind of twisted around. All right, and of course we've got our gingerbread cookie ornament, and we remembered playing hide the pickle a couple of weeks ago. We can do pickles for you. But enough chatter, let's move on to the gingerbread ornament. Okay, so Josh is going to be making this with Foster's able assistant. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
We're glad to have you back.
It's glad to be back.
Okay, so this piece is not going to be picked up with solid color. It's going to be made all with frit. And Josh has over here 2 colors. He's got a white for the background and a gold for the surface. You can see the fluid nature of the glass as it comes out of the furnace. So if he doesn't keep it turning, it really gets asymmetric. So he's going to roll that in the white. This will be the background. The white's a nice opaque color. The gold is partially transparent, but the thing is, the white gives it a really nice tone. We got a message from Ramiro. He just finished the mold and we'll bring it in tomorrow. Thank you so much, Ramiro. We couldn't have done it without you, obviously, but it sure is fun to work with. So you can imagine the math and everything for calculating all those 72-degree angles to get a pentagon, especially when the upper and lower halves are not the same size either. One's longer than the other, so that's really cool. All right, so Josh got 2 gathers of the white. He just picked up a gather of gold while I was chatting with Ramiro, and here he comes back for another. And that's pretty much going to do it, right?
Yeah, so you can see that this is actually a striking color. So you can see it's gold, but then as soon as I heat it up, it's actually going to go clear. So some colors we use do that, like copper ruby, really neat color. It goes clear when we heat it up, and then as it cools, it strikes back. Actually, you can see that right now.
See how it's got more clear, and you can see the white, especially at the back. So you're looking through the gold, and as it cools, it will darken, and you won't see into the white. So to make these, we start out basically with kind of a half-sized ornament, or maybe a little more than half-size. We're going to blow out the sphere, cut a jack line in it, and then Josh and Foster are going to team up to flatten it on the marver by using a wooden paddle. And that's what's going to give us the disc shape for the gingerbread cookie head. Using big words, improving our linguistics. I try, okay? It's a concentrated effort. And I got a new word. I was going to wait till Foster was making a piece, but I gotta share it with you. And I'm hoping Joanna is still on from the UK, because this term actually originated in Scotland. So we tease Foster about having learned to blow glass in Great Britain, and he always refers to clockwise and anti-clockwise. Let's watch this first. So we've taken that sphere and flattened it into a disc. Now Josh will just make sure that it's shaped up like he wants. He's using the shears to cool the neckline just a little bit so that it doesn't get, it's not too large, and also it comes off all right. So now Foster's going to flash the piece, just brief heats to keep it warm, that's all it is. Josh is going to put on his magic glasses, yes indeed, and get ready to do some torch work. So anyway, back to the new word, Joanna. We talk about Foster saying clockwise and anti-clockwise. Well, there's an old Scottish word, and it's widdershins. And widdershins means in opposition to the sun, traveling the opposite way. And that's another way to refer to what most of us call counterclockwise. So I'm hoping that Foster never tells us anti-clockwise again. He just always says widdershins. So Josh has got a white stringer right now, and he's using the torch to draw the outer outline of what would normally be icing. And if anybody wants to make some gingerbread cookies and take pictures or send us samples, we're always open to sweets. You can see the glass falling off center a little bit. That's just because of the heat in it. But another couple of heats and it'll fall right back in place. And Josh is perfectly capable of drawing on it while it's at an angle. Now you'll notice he's heating that white stick, that stringer right now. And that's to preheat the tip of it. And if we watch closely, you'll see that he's heating kind of above the contact point. That's so he can get that glass to flow off of that rod and move down onto the piece. So he's not really heating right at the contact point. And special for today, he's got a nice long stick of white.
That's right, I made sure today.
Because
what was that, what we were doing?
He and I were making some the other day, and as it got closer and closer to the end of the stick, it was getting closer and closer to his gloved hand. And even with the gloves on, it can get pretty doggone hot. So here we go, a couple more passes with that, and we've got the icing outline done. Marvelous, guys, way to go. You'll also notice that after the heating, that piece has come back to lying flat again. It's pretty much horizontal. So Foster's just gauging the heat as he goes along. Yeah, Eric, I guess it is a little bit like watching hot glue from a glue gun. All right, so now we've got a smaller stick of white, of black, because the eyes and the mouth are going to be a little finer than the icing was. So a little dot for one eye. And another. And then kind of a little oblong shape for the nose. And of course we're going to give the gingerbread cookie a happy face. Okay, Foster goes for the flash, the reheat, and we got one more to do. Josh is going to use a little bit of red because what's a gingerbread cookie without a gumdrop or two on it? A little red for cheeks like roses. Okie doke. So Josh is preheating the stringer there. Foster's back with the piece. Notice he's got it facing down till the last minute. Then when he flips it over, it winds up just the right spot to go ahead and work the rest of the way. Alrighty, so those are our elements. And Foster's going to go take a flash with it. Josh will lose the glove and those other glasses, and then he'll work on putting a hook on this. You see, the teamwork is really important here because if you heat it too much, it just kind of melts and goes all misshapen. If you don't heat it enough, those little lines that Josh has added could actually crack. All right. Sometimes too, it flattens a little too much or sinks in. That's why Josh gave it a little bit of air. It's getting a nice flat shape on it. You won't see the red right now, but that'll come through on the annealing. It's still pretty hot. This glass is probably still at least 1200 degrees. So Josh is going to do just like Todd did a few moments ago. He's going to gather up a little bit of glass for us and put a hook on this. Good morning, Jennifer. Glad to have you with us. We're really glad that we've got Josh and Todd back this week too. So we got a full complement here in the studio. And we're on a roll. Okay, he's got a little tool with a hook on it, and he'll hold it up here, and we'll take a good look at our gingerbread ornament. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for Josh. Come on, how about some hearts, some thumbs up, some of that other stuff, okay? Remember to like, comment, share. That's what gets us through the day. If you'd like one of those, just let us know. Order it. We've got a few, but actually since we first introduced them, there's been quite a few ordered. Josh and I have been busy making those this past week.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun. Nina said, hey, can we do a gingerbread? And then why not? Let's give it a try. And that's what she came up with. I thought it was really great. So,
okay.
Kudos to Nina.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see what's up next and give you a quick review of things. I'm not going to go through all those numbered ornaments again. And there's a quick view of the t-shirts. Those are $20 a piece. Tax and shipping not included. Okay, we've done the diamond optic cranberry ornament for Martha. And we've done the gingerbread ornament. So next is going to be a snowman. And here are the snowmen. So they're about 9 inches tall or so. And with these, we'll either put a black hat on it, black top hat like Frosty, or we'll put a little Santa hat on top of it if you like. So that's going to be up next, the snowman. The icicle, like Catherine won last week, okay? We're not making, oh yes we are, I'm sorry. We're making that after the snowman. So we've got that there, and then the grand finale will be a tree. I'm not exactly sure which one we're going to be making, but we have several different models of trees. These are all on the website. You can go to artofire.com and find them. And okay, Bridget Blakemore, looks like you got number 9. Wonderful. Okay. Yes, the rondelle is beautiful. And I'll go ahead and give you a hint as to what this is all about. Next week's show is going to be about gift ideas. So these are a few different things that we haven't shown yet. And we'll be more than happy to take your suggestions. We'd be even happier if you placed an order and wanted to see something made. And it doesn't have to be one of these, okay? So over here we have some diffusers. You put a scented oil in there and you can light up the room, so to speak, with smell. We've got some wall hanging basket-like pieces here, planters, and we've got perfume bottles. And we've always got rondelles available. And somebody asked about it, and yes, we do have a snow bunny. We probably won't get into that today, but perhaps next week we will. For those of you that may have joined us late, we've got a new addition to the arsenal, if you will. This is a 5-sided ornament, and we can do a variety of colors in it, and it's really pretty cool. Okay, let's go on back and see about getting a snowman started up here. So this is a blown piece. So Josh is going to gather up a couple of gathers of glass, get a bubble started in them, and then he's eventually going to move into picking up frit for the coloration. So there he's got a couple of medium-sized gathers right there to get things started, and he's just letting it cool a little bit. And now he's going to, and it was also lengthening during that process. So now starts the white frit with the snowballs. Snowman, yes, Catherine, that's it. Josh will get a few gathers of white on this, and then once he gets it blown out, he'll actually case it in clear with all the, yes, Bridget, we did tell Josh about all the snowman riots last week. He got a kick out of it. Actually, he was well aware of it. He went back and watched some of it. Couldn't help but laugh. But we had a good time with that last week. We hope you did too.
You guys did really well.
Pulled it out of the proverbial hat.
Right. Channeling the Steve Miller Band. Yeah, the whole bit. Yeah, a snowman made with fire. That is quite ironic. So what's that, about 4 gathers so far, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to really load it up with the white, because this snowman is going to be, probably 2.5 times the size of that gather he's got right now. This one's like Olaf. He likes warm hugs. Okay, yeah. Josh is going to let it go.
I like that.
Ah!
Let it go.
Yeah. Hey, come on.
You're really
It's like a 7-second delay with you guys. Come on. Oh yeah, that thought slipped
Well, you're
in.
kind of reaching today.
Okay. All right, so now we got to block it up, get it some shape, uniformity, and then he'll probably just blow into the blowpipe, cover the mouthpiece with his finger, and gently let it inflate a little bit. He doesn't need to get it really blown out a lot. If he puts too much air in it, the walls of the vessel will get too thin and it'll be difficult to work with. Yes, Bridget, I'm on a roll today. I can see the eyes rolling in here too. They're worried about what might come next. Okay, so the block now gives it the shaping he needs. Actually, that shaping is pretty important also in the gathering process. If the piece is too blunt and flat on the end, you can trap bubbles when you go in to gather. So we've got a perfect little pear shape there. He's going to let that cool for a few moments and then take his next gather. Now he's going to have a significantly larger volume of glass, enough so that he's letting some strip off. You can see the fluidity of the glass right there. Its viscosity is such that it just drips right off the pipe. And if he's got a little bit more than he wants, he can take a little more off, and that's what he's using the shears for. So you can see he's pinching the glass with the blades, pulling the glass out, and then cuts it. The blocking will smooth everything out, and this is going to give him a really nice wall thickness to work with. Now, since the center of the piece was cold, the central portion where the white that he gathered on, he's got to come back and take another heat before he goes about blowing it out any, because he doesn't want the cold glass to try to move at a different rate than hot. He's trying to get a uniform heat throughout. So when it comes out, he'll have a nice glow in all of it. There'll be a little bit of motion, and then he'll be able to block it up and blow it out. You can see that it flexes back by the pipe. So that tells us that the heat, see how that bent right there? That's the end of the pipe. Thanks for showing that, Josh.
Yeah.
Because that, and also you can tell where the pipe is. Look where it's expanding. Wherever the air exits the pipe and starts to spread the glass out, that's the end of the pipe. Now, if Josh hadn't equalized the heat, that air column would have traveled about halfway down his gather before expanding, and he'd have a little bit of difficulty making it. All right, so we're starting to get that tapered shape that you would expect in a snowman. He's going to build this snowman so that the base is on the outboard end, okay? So when he cuts it off the blowpipe, that's going to be the head that's closest to the pipe. Now, a little bit of centrifugal force, a little bit of that airplane propeller action. Now he's getting the length he wants. All he's going to have to do now is blow it out a little bit for more volume. And look, he's still got that nice taper he started with, because in a moment he's going to cut the division lines between the portions of the snowman's body. Because white is stiff, right? Yeah, the white is a stiff color. Yeah, it is. And it needs to be heated a good bit in order to get moving nicely. So Josh has got the blow hose on now. This is so he can actually blow and use the hand tools, holding the iron horizontal on the piece. So you can see that first joint coming. There's the first snowball. Here's where the second one will be. And he's given a little bit of extra room on the top for the head, because that's actually going to inflate later, and also a little bit of it will be cut off. So his next steps will be to fine tune that if he wants. We don't want to make the lines too deep, but they've got to be just deep enough to differentiate between the sections.
Yeah, belly, the tummy, and the head.
What's that?
The belly, the tummy,
Yeah.
and the head.
Yep, exactly. So with the jacks, a little more cutting, just refining the line. And when he blows a little, you can see that bottom joint start to inflate a little. And then if he blows a little while he holds the jacks in there, he gets that rounder shape. And that's how you get those two lower snowballs straightened out. Reinforcing the neckline there so he can break it off when he's ready. Oh no, Catherine, we don't make this one with 3 different sized balls that you put together. But we have seen people do that. In fact, we have a good friend that works up at the Corning Museum of Glass, and he made one that's about, what, Josh, 5 feet tall?
Yeah, it's about
3 balls, all of them about 2.5 feet in diameter. Josh is using a tungsten rod right now to poke a hole in the bottom. I'll explain that in a minute. What he's doing there is he's heated that tungsten rod up and then punched a hole in. So he's going to need to blow the piece out after it's transferred to the putty. So he's going to do something special right now, which is called a blow punty. He's using a hollow blowing iron and he's going to blow air through the tip of it. That's why he's pushing all the glass back up onto the piece. Then he's going to let that bubble burst through.
So, you ever wonder what happens if we blow it too thin?
Yeah, there you go, just crinkle some glass. And he's going to form the punty out of this. So it's going to, the punty here is going to have a hollow center with access to the blowpipe. He's going to shape that at the bench a little bit. Let me get a quick shot right there, Foster. There's the hole he poked, okay? So Foster's going to come reheat. Josh is going to go to the bench and shape his blow putty. Yeah, it does look a little bit like confetti. Oh, he's got it. He doesn't need to shape it anymore. You can see that round donut shape in there, and that's what's going to attach to the hole in the bottom. So if this doesn't make any sense yet, it will in a few minutes. So he gets this putty centered just like he would any other, and then we'll break the piece free of the blowpipe. A little bit of water on his tweezers right into the joint up there, and then when they tap the pipe, it comes free. So now it's actually open on both ends. If Josh blew through this right now and put some finger holes in the body of the snowman, it'd be like a little flute. Yeah. Hey, maybe we could start making flutes. Instead of champagne flutes, we could make musical instruments. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so the reason for that is, that whole process, is he will now, he's going to center it, but he's going to close off this open end up here. And by having a blow putty or a hollow tube all the way up into the piece, he'll be able to inflate the head of the snowman. Joanna says, makes sense now. I'm so glad. Because
So
you wouldn't believe.
why did I have to poke a hole in it? Why couldn't I just left it sealed?
If he'd have left it sealed, he wouldn't have been able to close it up, because what would have happened is he would have contained an air volume within a closed system. And then if he reheated it, it would start to expand and he'd have no control over it. But then what's even more interesting is he would bring it out and let it cool. It would actually reverse direction and suction in, and it would just become like all these snow dimples, I guess is the best way to call it. So that's why we needed access through the bottom. Ben Franklin's glass harmonica. Yeah, well, Ben's done that. We'll do something new. Actually, those are quite fascinating, but I believe they're really hard to make. All right, so a pair of jacks now on the opening up toward the top, and you're starting to see how this head will take shape. Once he cuts that off, he's going to crimp it with the diamond shears, and now he's closed the system. So by hooking up the blow hose now and going through the blow pipe into the blow putty, he's able to inflate the top and shape it. Yeah, Catherine basically is glass bowls horizontally and held in a stand. But it's still pretty fascinating. It makes a beautiful sound. What's even more interesting is I've been a couple times to street fairs where people will have big chalices of different sizes laid out with a certain amount of water in each one. And they can take their fingers and roll them on the rim of the piece and make music that way. But enough of that digression. Let's watch Josh with his jacks and his blow hose. He gets a little inflation in the top, sets the middle. If he chooses to round the top any, he'll just use his newspaper to hold it in place. He's got a beautiful body there for, that really sounded wrong, the snowman.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah. I'm glad you had the blow hose in your mouth so you couldn't answer that too quickly before I acknowledged it. Okay, so he's got the shape he wants and everything. We've got the 3 segments of the snowman. Foster's busy over here picking up black glass on the end of a, what we call a handle iron. It's basically a 3/4 inch iron that's solid, we make handles out of it on our pieces, so that's an easy reference for us. Well, Foster's going to bring this hot black glass over to Josh in a moment, and Josh will drop it onto the top of the snowman's head. This will form the brim of the hat. All right. Foster lifts it up in the air. Josh takes it, centers it, squashes it down some, and then cuts off the amount he needs. There we go. Now he's going to take a brief reheat, partly to flash the piece and partly to warm that black glass that's forming the brim. Then he'll use some hand tools to flatten. And while he does that, Foster's going to get busy with the top hat portion. So you can see how hot that black glass is. It's actually looking orange. Josh is going to take the back of the jacks, push this down some, and now you see the brim forming very nicely. A little separation line right between the top of the head and the brim of the hat, and a little more flat. Beautiful. Okay, so that's how quickly we get the brim on. Foster has gathered the clear glass, and he's going to go get more black. It'll take just a moment. So since white is so stiff and black the opposite, really loose. In this case, it's not making a whole lot of difference, Catherine. If we were to be making, say, a bowl that was half white and half black, that would be a very difficult combination to work with because the black would want to expand and move much more than the white. In this case, we've just added a piece of black up on the top, so the heat differential, or the ability of the glass to absorb heat, the difference in that is not really a great deal. All right, so Foster's got the black picked up. Josh's going to take a flash, keep a little heat in the glass. Remember, we need to keep that up well above 1100 degrees so it doesn't crack. And Josh is going to let Foster in. They're going to coordinate their activities here. We'll have the same type of delivery system again. When Foster brings it out, he'll hold the pipe up in the air. Josh will grab it, and we'll put the...
Some reheat, I've got it.
Okay, so if Foster notices a little issue, and he needs to come back and reheat again or shape it, all he's got to do is let Josh know what's going on. Josh goes back for a flash. Josh, what do you think's the longest you've ever flashed a piece just to keep waiting on something else? Maybe about 20 minutes or so?
No, we've done pieces longer.
Oh, okay.
Waiting on stuff?
I mean, in theory, I would think we could go an hour or so as long as we keep, or more, as long as we keep the heat in it. But the risk is just that if it gets cold and cracks, then you're done. Okay. Josh is ready for him. And there we go. Attachment. That attachment point's really kind of critical. You want to get that right in the middle. And you'll notice he didn't let that squash down because this is a top hat. He's going to cut a little bit off. He's taken more glass than he wanted, but that's fine.
I think I'm all right, thank you.
Glass is kind of a subtractive thing. You can always take some glass away, but if you don't get enough, it's really, really hard to add more. And it doesn't always work out well. Now you can see the difference in the color also between the two segments of black. Notice that the brim is darker because it's colder. The top half portion is glowing because it was so very, very hot, because they worked quickly and got it done. By using the handle or hinge of the jack, he's able to get that shaped up, and we got us a beautiful top hat. So he'll take a couple flashes, and then in a moment he's going to be turning this over to Foster. Because unless we do a faceless snowman, we got to put a face on it,
That's no fun.
and a carrot, and all the other good stuff. So he's going to make any of the finishing touches. You can see the heat in the end of it. So absent a thermometer, this is one of the ways that glass blowers can tell if they've got the heat they need. Are you going to put a band on the hat?
Who asked that question?
That was Catherine Thomas.
Okay. I was curious. Rachel Whitaker always asks me all the time.
Oh,
Am
okay.
I going to put a band on it? Am I going to put a flower, like frosting?
Yeah.
So I was curious if that was Rachel. No, it was.
We do them. We're not doing it on this one. But yeah,
Let's do a little.
Want to do a little? Want to do a little? Okay. You got it.
One off.
Why not? We're going to draw a little daisy on it.
I was thinking maybe a little red band with
A little red band? Okay. I'm not familiar with them. What have they recorded?
Keep turning and then we'll have that phone. Correct.
Okay. Well, Virginia said he's so cute, but I don't know if she's talking about the snowman or you.
There you go.
Or which one of you. Okay, so there we go with the dot and the eye. It's good to get those placed first, because if we get those placed and then we can center them out, and then it's really easy to put the buttons right up the middle. Notice how he's still aiming the torch at the area above the contact point. Foster's taking it back for a flash, and that takes care of the black. Now he's got to go get a piece of orange so we can put this little carrot nose on, and then he'll also get some red for wrapping the hat. So when he's hitting the end of that, he's getting that little bit of junk off the end of the stringer. You'll notice that this one is a little bit larger in diameter, about the same size as the white he used for the icing on the gingerbread man. He's going to make a contact, and he's going to let them sit there a second to get solid. Now as he heats an area about a ½ inch above the snowman, he'll be able to start pulling that to a taper. So he wants to get it heated throughout, and then it'll begin to pull. The glass burns itself off. And now by using a cold portion of the stringer, he can actually grab it and pull it more. If he decides he wants some more manipulation of that nose, after Foster takes a flash, he'll do a little bit. Well, it looks like a nice carrot on the end of there. Alrighty. Beautiful. And some red. Okay. I think maybe he's going to look for a little wider piece of red if he's got it. Alrighty.
Band around the hat.
Alright, so he's preheating the stringer. So they're going to coordinate their motions as Josh is going to be going around the snowman.
Go ahead and turn away from you in a second. Faster.
So notice that Josh is telling him if he needs a little more speed. If Foster gets a little ahead of him, he'll just ask him to slow down. And here we go around with the red hat band. So we're about 3/4 of the way. I feel like a golf announcer trying to be so quiet. Here we are on the 14th tee, or 14th green. Hushed silence in the crowd. And there we go. All right. Way to go. Very cool. And thank you for the suggestion, Catherine. We enjoy that. We're nothing if not flexible. All right, we doing a little more?
Yeah, no more.
Well, welcome aboard, Renee. Glad to have you. We just completed the snowman here. Josh put a red band around the hat at Catherine's suggestion. Now he's decided to take it one step further. He's putting a series of little red dots all around the hat above the red band. There we go. Now, they're not going to show up until this piece cools off, but we'll get pictures of it posted online. And so right now, Foster's getting it flashed. Josh is going to take the piece, make sure everything's in alignment. Foster's going to go glove up, and then we'll be ready to put this baby away. Get in here, you can see the dots on the hat. Beautiful. Now Josh is using that really hot oxygen propane torch to heat the joint with the punty. By heating that up a little bit, he's going to have that to the point that it's softened some rather than being really stiff. If it's really rigid when he goes to break it off of the body, there's an outside chance that it could break part of the body with it. So by softening the glass and then coming back, he's taking another flash. Now he'll be able to knock that free and not risk taking the bottom out of the piece. Alrighty, there we go. Alright, I'm going to stand back so Foster can catch him. Josh's going to put a little bit of water up in there. And off comes the putty. Beautiful. Alright. Well, let's hear it for the team of Foster and Josh. That was amazing, Josh. Good job, Foster. Wonderful. Oh, come on, folks. Give them some thumbs up. Give them a few hearts. Come on, you got to like this. Especially the impromptu use of the hat and the dots and everything.
Yeah, I like that trail. Do some dots. Next time we'll do like a little, what's Frosty have? A little daisy, right? A little daisy on the top of his hat?
Yeah, right. Maybe we'll do a daisy sometime.
There you go.
Okay, cool. Wonderful. That was really amazing. Okay, so let's see what else we got in store for you. Walk on back down here. So we've done the diamond optic ornament, which was a special gift from Martha Carter. And we've done the gingerbread ornament, and now you've seen the snowman. So the next up is going to be Todd making the icicle slant angel wing. And here's what one looks like that's been completed. And I'll just do a quick scan of the pieces we have here. Oh, you know what? We'll come back to the pieces in a minute. Right now, I'd like to brag a little bit because along with you, the Art of Fire raised $2,200 for No Kid Hungry. Some of you may have joined us late, and so we were making the drinking glasses, Foster, Todd, Josh, and I, and donating money to charity, and we raised $2,200. So congratulations to all of us. Todd's getting ready on his icicle right now. He's gathered up together on the blowing iron, marvering it out, and then he'll initiate the bubble in it. By trapping the air in the pipe, the compressed air has no place to go but down into the hot glass. Now, if the glass got cold, we wouldn't be able to blow it out. You can also see the shape of the bubble change to a bit of a taper, and that's something he's going to need in the process.
So we're doing an icicle and then a wing. We're doing two, right?
Oh, you're doing two, an icicle and a wing. Okay.
I'm asking.
Okay, I don't know. I just saw icicle slant wing up there.
Both.
I didn't know if it was a double duty piece.
You said duty.
Have you ever made an angel before? I don't know. All right, so it's blown into the optic mold, got the ridges in it, and now we'll go about shaping it. So yeah, I guess we'll do an icicle and a wing. Not too much different than a wing and a prayer, huh? Okay, so, huh? Oh.
At the end. It's on the board here.
That's on the board.
It's
you put
on
it
the
on
board.
the board. Huh? Okay.
You're committed to it now.
Okay. I'll bring this over here so you can get a good look at it. Todd has pinched the lines in the optic mold, and that's what those little spiky parts are. And now, as he heats it up and begins to elongate it, it will become the icicle. A snowman with angel wings would be cool. Yeah, it would. And before you know it, we could make it into a Jimmy Stewart movie. We ring a bell every time the angel gets his wings. I really love the pained looks they give me with some of these really lame jokes. Okay, so you got a little bit of extra on there he'll trim off, but that's how he elongates it and gets it going. Trim off that excess when he's done with it. A little tap there breaks it right off where he wants. Bit of a reheat. And here we go up onto up to the cradle. A little tap and then it'll just sit there and he'll be able to put a hook right on it. Curl over on the hook, and there we go, your icicle. All right, great. Let's hear it for the icicle. And Todd, way to go. Very cool. So that'll, like everything else, will go in the annealer, and it'll sit there till the end of the day. And then when we turn the annealer off, the temperatures come back down gradually. So, an angel wing, please? Okay. Pretty please? Alrighty. So Todd's taking another gather. We're whistling a happy tune, yes.
Good thing I not have to be good with my hands or anything.
Yeah.
Should I do this in white?
What's that?
We're doing a wing, so we should do this in white.
We're doing
Do it
what?
in white?
White?
instead
Yeah,
of clear?
sure.
You need help flattening it? Yeah, maybe. Sure, why not? Why not? This is all experimental, so don't get your hopes up.
Oh, somebody's observant. Liz said, good catch.
Yeah. If you're going to screw up, you got to know how to cover your backside.
Yep.
Mouse close.
Or, as I like to say, it's not what you can make, it's what you can fix.
Yeah.
And some of us have more trouble with that and have to learn a lot of fixes. I think I've screwed up glass in more different ways than anybody around here. But it's fun.
No, it's not screwed up. It's learned.
It's learned experience. Yeah,
Or
it's a
what not
learning
to do.
experience. Yeah, learning what not to do.
I
I can't tell you how many times I've been working on a piece and Josh or someone else will say, what makes you think that's really going to work? But hey, got to have faith. But that would be George Michael. Oh.
Endless parade of dad jokes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm full of them. All right, it's going into the optic mold again. Blow and get those ridges in it. Glass improv. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'd call, yeah, rim shot. I'd call it stand up, but we're standing most of the time anyway. Okay. Little jack line for separation. Ah, Caitlin said she came by the studio this past Sunday. Well, I'm glad. It's great to see people. We did have the Countryside Artisans Tour this past weekend. Had quite a few folks come in, and all socially distanced. Masks were worn by all. But what would you up today, Bruce? I don't get that one. Anyway. Todd's reshaping the glass for the wing here. You can see how...
I don't know, Todd, I like that.
Gonna take that? Yeah. Yep.
Instead, it's crap shoot.
Yeah. I think you can see where this is going to go. Josh has got the paddle ready to flatten it.
No, that's not for flattening.
Huh?
It's not for flattening.
Oh, it's not for flattening? Oh, who wound you up today, Bruce? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it probably was the coffee. I only go with high test. Alright. More shaping on this angel's wings. And you can see the lines from the optic mold forming the layered feather pattern. Yeah.
One side. This is really crap shoot.
Are you going to flatten until you go to the side, or are you going to do the flat side now?
I guess what you do is there.
Flat side now. Yeah, it sounds like a pair of wings.
We're going over to the Den of Iniquity where Josh has the paddle ready. All right. Okay, way to go. That's beautiful.
We can do that. We'll see how the tail goes.
So you can see how he incorporated the lines from the optic mold to give the layered feathering pattern to it. Joyce Ferguson says she was just going to ask the same question. Which question is that, Joyce? What wired me up this morning?
She's on? Oh no!
It does look beautiful, Joanna.
Oh, thank you.
Back over here and get a little bit of a close-up on this. All right. Awesome. Okay, that's brutal. That's really nice. I like that. I like the way he's incorporated the optic mold pattern into it. And a little bit of curvature. All right. Amazing. This really is an amazing craft. It's interesting how far you can take some of these things, and sometimes even if you're not quite sure exactly what you want with it yet, you can make it happen. There we go. All right. You know, it kind of reminds me of the stuff floating around in the air in Avatar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the movie Avatar. All the little spirits. Alright, so a little bit of cooling. So every piece has kind of a break-off temperature or a break-off point. And you just tap gently. If you just really pound on it, you're liable to break it. But by taking a reheat and putting a little drop of water on it, again with minimal tapping and working his way up, he can get it to come right off. See how beautifully that came off? Now he could have stayed there at that first go-round and just beat the living daylights out of it. And it would have come off, but it probably would have come off in 3 or 4 pieces. And as it is, he's got the beautiful angel's wing to show for it. So that's what just a little bit of patience can do for you. Here we go with the hook again. One last picture when he picks it up before putting it in the annealer. And there we go, folks. Beautiful. Thank you, Todd. So let's see some thumbs up and some hearts for Todd, huh? Yeah, that was really great. Okie doke. That's good news. Okay, so let's see what we got going on now. I'll give you a quick pass through the ornaments here. I'll go slowly. As I said earlier, what was that lady's name from St. Louis again, Josh? One of our viewers a week ago saw things she liked, and that was Christina Davis in St. Louis, Missouri. And what she did was take a screenshot of what she was shown, and then she circled the items that she wanted to talk about ordering, sent that in an email, and we got her order filled and shipped out earlier this week. Or no, at the end of last week.
It's going out.
Okay, so here we go. We got number 1 here. 2 is a random pattern of frit. 3 with another trail, kind of a greenish gold look to it. The ubiquitous number 4. If you tell us what you want a number 4 ornament from now on, we're going to know what you're talking about. 5 over here is the red, white, and green diamond optic ornament. Here's a white and red optic pattern in it, but no diamonds on that one. 7 is a multicolored swirl. 8 is a filigrana ornament. 9 is very much similar to the number 4. This one just happens to be a lighter color. Number 10 has this beautiful swirl pattern around red. 11 is the pinkish color, again blown in the optic molds but not twisted or anything. 12 is a white ornament with the diamond pattern. And this diamond pattern, we're not going to number 13 because we're superstitious. We've also got snow bunnies. And the next thing you're going to see is a Christmas tree. So we're going to demonstrate that in a minute. There's several of the Christmas trees. The snowmen, you saw Josh do that just a minute ago. And of course, we've got the snow bunny. Anybody needs to hide a pickle, we've got them. Order them up. And you also saw the gingerbread cookie. Not good for eating, but certainly enjoyable to look at. These little rascals, we haven't decided what to call this pentagonal pattern yet, but we'll have these online for you before long. Icicle, you saw Todd just do that. We've got what we call the snowball ornaments with all the white and the different colors peeking through. And this is a preview kind of next week. What we're going to see is gift giving ideas. And it looks like somebody's added something to our list. After the tree, it looks like they've decided I'm going to make a candy cane. So we'll see what that looks like. Okay, so let's go back and get to work on a tree. Now the tree is a solid structure. So Josh has an iron right now that is not hollow. is a solid iron, 3/4 of an inch in diameter. He's going to gather several times onto this. You can also see as he pauses how far that glass will fall if you don't keep the rotation going. Hey, Michael Herman, glad to see you.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, welcome aboard. You're just in time to see Josh make a Christmas tree.
What are you doing? Tall 12 point?
Yes.
Okay.
There it is.
So Josh is going to gather up enough glass that he can stuff it down into that big mold, and that's what's going to form the branches of the tree. Hello, Kimberly. Good to see you.
Hey, Michael.
Good to have everybody here. We're so happy to see you. Okay, so Josh now is...
Michael.
Hey, Michael! Come on, my bro! Love it.
Well, Ramiro Camarillo says it's a diamond ornament, and since he designed the mold, it's a diamond ornament. I didn't know that. Josh is gathering up the white now. The central core of this is going to be white. Is this going to have anything else, or is this just the red trail? Okay.
The red Christmas lights.
I'm sorry?
The red Christmas lights?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
you know where those red lights are as well.
so with this one, Josh is going to get several gathers of white on this, and this will be the interior of the tree. He's going to roll that out into a little longer length in a few minutes, and he's also going to gather some clear glass over it first. So while he's prepping this and getting it ready and letting it cool, I'm going to walk back on down there and see if we've got one that'll show you just exactly what we're talking about. I'm behind you. So some of the trees we've made kind of are done to look like they have snow on them and whatnot, but the one that Josh is going to make right now is one with a white central core and then red around it. And the way that this will work is we'll put a trail of red all the way around the tree formation. But because there'll be ridges in it, when Josh puts the piece back into the glory hole and heats it up, the strings of red will pop loose, leaving just little dots of red all around the piece. The Foster's already started heating up the red, and Josh has got the white kind of tapered into the shape he wants, but he's letting it cool so he can go gather the clear. So it takes just a few minutes to get it down to the right temperature. When he looks at it, he wants to see if there's any motion in it. And if there's not, then he knows he's in a pretty good place. Foster's over here shaping the red right now. And then as these guys get ready, they'll take it on over and do the threading. So depending on how much glass he gets on here, Josh may let a little strip off. By letting it just flow right into that bucket, he brings it back to level. And now he's got that nice, hot, clear glass directly into the optic mold, lets it flow. Then he pushes down on it gently. He's going to get a nice taper shape to it. And there you have ridges all the way up it. Okay? He's going to begin to work to put a point of separation and also the bottom of the tree. You'll notice that to the left of his jacks, it's got a lot of white down there. So that's not going to be part of the tree. Well, maybe we'll make that part of the tree stand. He just wants to get a point of separation. Then we grind them later on. You can see how much that glass is moving. That's all related to the heat. And this is what we'll be putting the red trail on. And it's a little hot for him to stop turning right now, but I'm going to follow him along as he goes over to the area where we thread. Okay, he's going to take another heat so he can do the jack work. because eventually it needs to come off of that pipe. So that's what he's working toward right now. And he's making sure that it's straight by rolling it on a marver. All right, Foster's heating up the red really good. I'm going to come over here, and now that this is a little cooler, you can get an idea of how pointed these ridges are as they come up. Give you an end view, and you can see that they come to a kind of sharp point at the outer diameter. That's where the red will attach and stay. It's between those ridges that it will break off. So when Foster brings this to it and they touch up, you're going to get a solid string of red all the way around. Okay, see the red band going all the way around this. Okay, and then they just flick that off of there. Good. Now, Josh is going to take that back over to the glory hole, and he's not just going to put it in the heat. He's going to put it right up in front of the burner tip. And what that's going to do is everywhere that those, they're like little bridges between the tops of the ridges. And all those little ridges, all those bridges will burn off, and you'll be left with the dots on the top of the edges where you got in the optic mold. And let's take a look at that now. And there's the dots. There's your ornament pattern. So what happened to the rest of that trail? It just burnt up in the glory hole. The pieces were so thin that they were actually cool enough in the glory hole to shatter and break off. So they actually broke away, leaving them all those pretty little dots. Now he's going to start working with his shears, and you can see from the heat he has to work quickly. So Foster's going to take those two paddles, one of them protecting his thumb. When we cut a big piece of glass like this, it's the thumb that really bears the heat. So by using the other paddle to block the other side, there we go. And then Josh has to just keep his eye on the glass, and then when it falls, bring it back up. So that optic mold he's using has 12 ridges in it. So at each level of cut, he needs to make at least 12 cuts. And then he can move up about an inch higher or so. If he misses one, or if it doesn't cut deep enough, he might have to go back and repeat himself, but that doesn't happen very often. So with Foster shielding him, this makes it a lot more bearable. And you can see how those lines are coming in where he's done the cuts. Now if you watch carefully, you can also see him twist his shears just a little bit at the end of each cut. And that's what lifts the branch or bough away from the central part of the tree. When the glass is moving a lot, you don't typically cut each ridge in sequence. You move around a little bit and go to the opposite side, so as the glass falls, you're back to center when you make your cuts. So this is what requires all these reheats. How heavy is this right now? What, Josh, about 2 pounds?
Nah, it's probably closer to 4.
4? Okay, about 4 pounds. And the thing about the glass is, well, when he's at the bench, it's not too bad. But when you're moving glass around the studio and you've got a pipe that you're holding, that extra distance away from your body makes it feel like a lot more weight. So you can see the glass moving. He's carefully turning and picking a spot. And you can see that he's skipping some of the ridges, because as he makes one cut, the piece falls toward the ground. Then he can come right back around and hit all the missed points. Okay, so you can see we're pretty close to halfway up the tree now. You want a handle iron or you want the bunting? Okay. So after he gets this all shaped up and cut, and he'll probably elongate it a little bit, we put it on a little stand so it will sit in the annealer, and then we grind them later. So here we go with the next level, up about an inch or so from the previous cut. Notice how he's skipping like every other one. Also notice the piece of glass isn't moving quite as much. That's because he doesn't need to heat as deeply and get it all moving. He's already cut the lower half of it. Got all his cuts in there. So now he can go to a little softer motion now. Yeah, Cheryl, they're cool trees. They really are. They're really neat to make. And you can have them. They're online. All you got to do is order. artoffire.com or 301-253-6642.
Or direct message Theta.
Direct message Theta. We have so many ways. All right, so now he pulled it and straightened it a little bit there. That's what that move was on the end. But you can still see that he's skipping around a little bit because this glass is still moving.
A lot of cuts.
Yeah, a lot of cuts and a lot of heat. Yeah, that's probably one of the most uncomfortable things that we do in glass blowing, is having to do a lot of close hand work, getting right in there and getting your hands fairly close. And with the shears, the tool's not very long at all, and that's why having those paddles to shield your hand is such a great idea. We've also seen people that do it by taking a washcloth and dipping it in water and putting that over your hand. But interestingly enough, the water heats up the washcloth and that still burns too. So there's no way around it. This is a pretty good way to minimize it. And you can see how all those dots have lined up right on the edges, the branches of the trees. And that's what happened right after we did the trail there. All right.
Yeah.
Now, he'll probably, after doing all the cutting, lengthen it a little bit, make it a little bit taller, and shape it out. He's got to keep the whole thing hot, because if he lets that really thick bottom get very cold, the thing will shatter. So that's why he's in there pretty deep. But he may not stay quite as long, see? All right, and you can also tell the heat distribution from the relative color of the glass. Using the diamond shears now, he's cutting a little dot on the end there, and he's pulling a little for shape, and then he's going to cut that off. See how that puts kind of a crown on the tree. All righty. But now he's pulled the glass back out of the glory hole a little bit. And this move is going to elongate and straighten, and also pull that little tip off the hip. There we go. Now he's getting that nice tapered profile. Where he's squeezing the glass at the top, he's going to knock that little button off, and it'll let some heat melt it in, because it will be kind of a little bit of a sharp point there. And that's why he's got this little hand torch, this map gas torch. That's actually going to heat the tip of it, melt the glass in so there's no sharp shards. We love alliteration around here. And now they're going to get ready for the next step. The next step is going to be for Foster to gather glass over there, and he's going to come over and put a little cookie of glass on the marver. Then he's going to grab a pair of gloves and put that, he's going to take the piece from Josh when he breaks it off, and then put it onto the little stand. So they'll have a few seconds after Foster cuts free the disc but that'll be the sign that Josh is going to immediately start. Oh wow, Catherine Thomas is all over you today, buddy. She wants a star on top of the tree.
All right, hold on, Foster. We gotta do a star now.
We got.
Throw that in the.
Are you going to do it?
We'll do a star.
We're going to do a star.
Yes,
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Reality TV.
Is this accommodating or what? All right. So Foster's gonna. Are you going to need the oxypropane?
Really?
Okay. Wow, Catherine. You really scored some points somehow. I expected that was going to be a no. Only because, well, I mean, it's not beyond capability. It's just that getting the equipment and getting going on it again. But hey,
Josh is
we're
up to
game.
all sorts of challenges.
Yeah, right.
Why not?
Mainly working here.
Oh, Josh. Can you do this blindfolded?
One blade in your jacks tied behind your back.
Okay, so now he's got a crimping tool that'll allow him to flatten some glass.
Just start bringing in sound effects. Okay, sound effects. All right, Foster.
No, David Hogan, it's not going to be a Texaco star.
We're lucky if we get any.
All righty. So what Josh is going to do here, put some red on the end of it. You're going to ball it up and flatten it and then pull points?
I think so.
Okay. So basically, he's going to get red on the end of it. He's going to let that form up into a pretty good sized ball. Then he'll be able to squash the ball with a special tool. And then from that squashed disc, pull out the points of the star. Here we go, adding glass to the top of the tree. He needs Foster, yeah, he told him, you know, just turn a little bit. And that's what keeps it all right there on the center instead of falling toward the ground. Now you too can experience the sodium flare. Okay, so now he's got a little dollop of red glass on the tip, and he's going to flatten it with the flat blades. Now Foster's going to flash it to get the rest of it warmed up a little bit. Eric Lisinski says stand on one leg. Josh says no problem. Now what he's going to do is heat this up, and he's going to begin working on the star shape. We've got the central disc. He's going to let that stick to it and then pull it a little bit. Work it off. Move to the next one. Foster flips it so he can reach to the. So he pulled that just a little bit more, and he'll put another one over on the other side.
Good, grab a quick flash.
And remembering to get flashes all the time. So, not a bad suggestion, Catherine. It's up to the challenge. Foster's bringing it back. We're going to step around so you can get a little bit better view of the work here. I'm pulling out on it just a little bit, ever so gently. Just going to let that burn off about an eighth of an inch away. There we go. Nice.
Let's get this one a little bigger.
Now, if it gets a little too much, you can put that right back on there, pull it out some, and burn it off. And now for the finishing touch. Another one pulled. Let it narrow for shape. And there we go. Well, glad you caught with us, Lindsay. Glad you made it here today. Glad everybody made it. So remember to like, comment, share. Sharing really helps us again. Sharing is what gets us more viewership. And if you comment, you'll be in the running for next week's free drawing, which is going to be one of the gingerbread cookie ornaments. So let's get up here and see this star. Beautiful. Wow. Awesome. Amazing work. Okay. Josh is heating the star so it doesn't get too cold. Foster's over there dropping the cookie onto the marver. He's going to snap that glass off, and he'll have a disc to place the piece in. So then he'll get rid of the pipe and get his gloves on. Josh will break the piece off. Foster will plant the tree. All right. This is the Arbor Society. Okay, he's going to put the tree onto that disc. And then once it starts to stabilize and it's upright, we'll transfer it to the annealer. There it's broke off. Foster's going to place it into the disc. He just has to press down on it and it sticks in there.
And that's so it just stands in the annealing oven. We'll eventually cut that foot off and grind it back.
Okay, Foster's got it, and into the annealer it goes. All right, let's hear it for Josh and Foster. An amazing tree.
And who suggested that? Who was that?
What's that? Catherine.
Yeah,
Did you say you wanted her banned from the show?
That's right. Yeah, she's no longer allowed.
No, it was a great suggestion, and we're very happy to be able to accommodate it. Yep, that's really wonderful, and that is not an easy thing to do. In fact, well, last week Foster and I told you we weren't doing snowmen, so you're lucky Josh was here today for the star, because there it goes. All right, so let's see, what do we got here? 2,200. This is what we raised with you for donations to No Kid Hungry. So for those of you that ordered drinking glasses that Foster, Todd, Josh, and I made, thanks very much. We really enjoyed doing that. It's a very worthwhile charity, and we're more than happy to take care of that and do it. So $2,200 to them. That's really great. And then let's see. Well, we got some t-shirts up here. We've covered them before, but you guys can order t-shirts from us, and we've got tons of ornaments. We've got the special Happy Cats design from Violet. Yep. And we've got all these shirts. We got tons and tons of ornaments. Check us out at artofire.com or call 301-253-6642. Order anything in the catalog, order anything on the table. This right here is our giveaway for next week. So be sure to comment, and you can get the little gingerbread ornament, okay? And they're really, and this is the appropriately named diamond ornament. And thanks to Ramiro Camarillo for making the mold and letting us use it. Okay. And Brian, your brother, says congratulations on the donation. Well, thank you, Brian. And actually, I'm quite happy because it was Brian that bought a set of my cups, wasn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah, so the ones I made. We've got the icicles you've seen today. We've got the gingerbread people. We've got the pickles, snowmen. We missed the snow bunny today, and we did the tree. Next week's show is going to be about gift ideas, and that's what these are all for here. You haven't seen us make the scent diffusers before? Well, they're not much different than other shapes, but with the reeds in them, you can really have some beautiful smells going around your house there. We've got the wall hanging basket. What, you think I'm Giuliani? We've got the perfume bottles. I'm sorry. It just... Okay, we've got rondelles. And the guys actually put this thing up here, Candy Cane Bruce. So I guess I'm going to give the camera over to Foster.
Well, no, wait. You're not doing it right. Here. You gotta do this, right?
Oh, I have to do this like this.
Yeah, right.
Okay, hey, well, welcome to the Art of
yeah.
Fire. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, you once again will have an opportunity to see Bruce in action. It's been a number of weeks, but of course he assisted me, because I guess I was the main gaffer last week for the FOP edition of the Art of Fire live streaming.
This is just revenge on their part. But what I've done before is pulled some of these like peppermint canes. And I had a few leftovers. Going to make some drinking glasses out of them. But we can also make candy canes. And so that's what we're going to try to do here.
So we've taken a couple of these candy canes that Josh just shared with you. These are red color and white color. They're twisted up and pulled between two of us. This is called cane.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Bruce has a piece that's a little bit larger. It's not been twisted quite as much.
Yeah.
The one that I showed you had been twisted a little bit more. So depending on how the two glass blowers work together as they're pulling the colors apart, they put them opposite each other on clear glass. Red on one side, white on the other side. And so what we've done here is we've taken two of these canes. What are they, Josh? About 8 or 9 inches in length?
No, I think I cut them closer to 10.
Oh,
we can
okay.
always trim them back.
Yeah, okay. Well, Bruce is going to get a gather or wrap of clear glass out of the furnace. He's holding it up in the air so that the glass comes down closer to the pipe. He's going to reach in and he's going to go ahead and pick up one of these canes, as we call it, and come quickly over to the glory hole, trying to keep everything centered and juggled. There you go. What a great job. So, he's now got it on the end of the puntier puntal iron, the solid one, and he's heating it up. That helped him get it centered a little bit more on the end of the pipe. And now what he's going to do is he's going to manipulate the glass to his liking using the heat of the glory hole, Bruce's many years of experience, and his ability to dazzle the folks with brilliance and baffle them with brilliance. He's got the end of the candy cane heated. We have what we call a front stamp that they just wrapped around. You can see the candy cane has taken its shape and form. He's going to go ahead and stabilize the temperature in the glory hole. Josh has put on some gloves, and in just a moment they're going to go ahead and take this off, and this too will go into the annealing oven to stabilize in temperature and then cool down slowly overnight. So here Bruce is getting some water on his pincers or his tweezers. He put it on the glass, hit the pipe lightly, and there's the completed candy cane. Bruce, that's excellent.
So, what this originally came from, I'd like to show one other thing. When I've taught beginning classes to people. Controlling glass on the pipe is one of the hardest skills there is. So we would teach the students on the very first day to gather a little bit of glass on a small iron, then pick up a cold piece of cane and tap it into the hot glass until they could get it to stick a little bit, and then enjoy the fun. Actually, it's a learning experience as they try to control this glass that wants to flop all around. Now, the problem with a room temperature piece is it wants to shatter.
But it has been done before, and Michael Herman will attest to that. You still with us there, Michael? Hope you guys are doing well. Carol Ann says, gotta go, but Bruce, you're doing great. Well, we knew that. So, Bruce just got a gather of clear glass. He took a cold cane and he stuck it into the hot glass. Now he's dancing it around on the end of the punty, going into and out of the glory hole to introduce heat into that piece of cane without causing it to shatter.
Yeah, by going slowly like this, short little heats, it's not trying to go from 60 degrees to 2,000 degrees in an instant.
Michael will tell you about that.
Now, once it starts to stabilize, we can keep it in there. Then we can begin to play with it. So by heating the end of it,
so now he's going to heat the end. Are you going to do another candy cane?
no,
Or are you going to do
another candy cane.
You're going to do another
It'll be
trick?
a surprise.
A surprise. Well,
Then we learn how to control the shaping with gravity, okay? By letting it come around gently. So we can get it to curl around back on itself like that. By heating just a little more deeply and changing the way the glass goes in there, we can get it to start to bend the other way. I don't have quite enough heat, but now I'm going about 90 degrees from where I started the other one.
are you making Little Bo Peep's crook to to catch the sheep there, Bruce?
This is really a great way to learn how to control glass. So now I can bring it back down here and let it touch up on itself again.
I think what I'll do is stand on this side so we get a better image without a lot of the daylight that's streaming through the studio windows this afternoon. All right, what do we have here, Bruce?
Oh, we just got a wound up mess right now. But it's a great way for people to learn how to control the glass, to see how heat and gravity work together. And I can even take it back to the bench and manipulate it a little bit.
And now Bruce has his pincers, or his tweezer tools. He's grabbed the glass, manipulated it a bit. Because it's really relatively thin, or a small amount of glass, it's difficult to put enough heat into it that when he gets to the bench, picks up his pincers, he's run out of heat. So, what he did was he apparently went ahead and flattened it out. He's going to go ahead and dip it back down into the glass in the furnace and pick up a gather or wrap of glass over the candy cane swirl piece that you saw him swirl. He's using that wooden block to help cool and shape the glass that covers the candy cane swirled up that's now on the inside. And I think he's going to make a marble out of this one. Either a marble or a paperweight. You're going to make a marble or a paperweight, Bruce? Paperweight.
Now where we gathered, and there were spaces between that folded cane, you can see air bubbles in it. Okay? That's what those are. But the point of this whole silly exercise is we've taught people on their first day of glass blowing to make a simple paperweight like this. There's a lot of skills involved that you have to learn, but it's a great way to get started.
Okay, now he's using his jacks to make a neckline there at the end of the pipe. What are you going to do? Just knock it off and then torch it, Bruce?
What's that?
You're going to knock it off on the marbury
I'm
tape?
just going to knock it off on the annealer.
Oh,
I
okay.
just explained to people what we would do next. So if you're in a class and you're doing something very rudimentary like this, we could take this and then after it has annealed, we can put it on the grinder and flatten the bottom. Since Josh is here anyway, I'll just go ahead and tap it off right here. Thank you. And that's a real simple way to make a paperweight.
And it's got a nice swirled decoration on the inside. So, Bruce, thank you for allowing me to shoot my mouth off for a while. Thank you folks for being with us today. I'm going to let Bruce finish this up.
Okay.
And hi, Rude, how are you today, sir?
Okie doke. All right, let's see what. I want to emphasize this again because we're really very proud that we raised $2,200 for No Kid Hungry, and that was in large part due to you guys because we didn't really advertise it except on the live stream. So thanks for supporting us and thanks for supporting the kids everywhere. So there you have it. You've seen the diamond optic and a cranberry. That was a special gift from Martha. We've had our gingerbread ornament. Don't forget, if you've commented, you can win one next week. We had the snowman with the black hat. We also have them with the red hat, just like the Santa hat. And we did the icicle and angel wing, both. And Josh did that beautiful tree with the red decorations on it. And I showed you a candy cane. I think that was just to put me on the spot, but they are fun to do. Next week's episode, Bat fans, is going to be gift suggestions, gift ideas. And here on display, we've got the diffusers with the reeds in them. We've got the wall hanging like planter. We've got perfume bottles. We can do rondelles. We can do anything you want, really. And as Josh has proven today with Catherine's input, suggestions are more than welcome. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing all of you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.